Welcome to the Munchkin Minute, your bi-weekly look into some tabletop gaming news and more. I'm your host, Dan, the Board Game Man, and this is your news for July 7th, 2025. So I hope everyone had a happy and safe 4th of July weekend and happy Canada Day, or just a great summer weekend wherever you might live. I guess, well, I mean, if you're way south, I guess south of the equator, it's probably winter down there. And for you guys, I'm sorry and hope it wasn't too cold down there and hope you had a good weekend. Anyway, let's get into some news. So this is kind of that, again, pre-Gen Con, a little bit less news, but I got probably a lot of stuff. And some of the stuff here you might see at Gen Con, and other stuff are just kind of things that I've left for, that are later in the year. I've tried to put off a few things in news that I wanted to get some more news before I talk about them. So there's not a whole lot of things. I got a bunch of Kickstarters as well. But let's get into some news here. So first up, our good friends over at Restoration Games. They're releasing the next bigger, we'll call it the bigger box of Unmatched, because now they do the kind of the smaller side, the two-player ones, I think anymore, or 2 or 3 expanded things. I think there are 2 now of the Unmatched. But this one is the Unmatched Battle of Legends Volume 3 that's going to be coming out later this month, and I'm sure you'll be able to buy it at Gen Con. This one will feature Blackbeard, the Chupacabra, Loki, and Pandora. They say... all sorts of them are different kind of in the way they play, obviously, but they're all way, way different. And what's really cool about these are they're all were the runners up from a deck design contest where the beginner, the winners had already been kind of published. And these are the runners up that they're now putting out. This one should be about $45. Again, you'll see it released in FLGSs later this month, but if you're at Gen Con, hey, go pick one up there as well. So I got a couple of Marvel Champions news. This is the first time in a while that I've had some stuff from Marvel Champions, and they're not just character packs, but one of these is a set and one is a scenario pack. So FFG is going to release a boxed expansion for Marvel Champions. This one is about Civil War. Now this one is all about heroes battling heroes, like you would expect, because it's Civil War. And this one adds Tigra and Hulkling. This one will be out in September. It should be about $45 to $50 depending on where you grab it. Those boxes are usually pretty cool because, again, they come with kind of quote unquote scenarios in a way, and then also a couple of good champions as well to play. FFG is also releasing the Trickster Takeover scenario pack. This one will be out later in August. Maybe you'll be able to get, I don't know, FFG's had some weird kind of how they are at Gen Con, so I'm guessing they'll probably have a huge booth and have all sorts of stuff there, but you might be able to grab it there as well. Now this is a 78 card scenario pack, guest designed by former Champions designer Michael Boggs, and this sinks into the scene with 2 brand new scenarios featuring the Enchantress and Loki, 2 conniving villains with a ton of tricks up their sleeves. In addition to being able to play these scenarios in a traditional standalone way, the Loki God of Lies scenario can also be played in a brand new epic multiplayer mode. That's to be an interesting one. And that's the first time they've done that with Marvel Champions. And it also has a modular encounter set featuring enthralled minions you can recruit to your side. And it says, can you survive this brutal battle of wits? I always love these kind of scenario packs, are great too. So check those 2 out. So we've got 2 new things as well for Star Trek Captain's Chair. These were 2 expansions. So this is a game. Captain's Chair is kind of a competitive game, and it's one I've really been wanting to play. I still haven't seen it. Maybe at Gen Con, all these games that I haven't gotten a chance to play yet. Hopefully I'll be able to sit down over that long weekend. I'll be there Friday through Sunday, so hopefully Friday and Saturday I'll be able to play a lot of these games that I've been wanting to do. Anyway, Star Trek Captain's Chair. These 2 expansions are going to be in December. One is going to be a standalone and one is a smaller expansion. So first, the standalone is called Star Trek Captain's Chair To Boldly Go. These 6 champions in this one, but they've only released a few that they're going to be in there. So you got James T. Kirk, Noonien Singh, Philippa Georgiou, and Rebner, the Pakled Commander from Lower Decks. This one should be about $60. I feel like I might have covered this one a while back, but now that we've got kind of more of a release date, I think it might have been earlier in the year where I'm like, sometime this year, but it looks like it's going to be out in December. So you have to wait a little while longer to see this one. So, well, pick up the base game, but this one is a larger one. It is a standalone game there as well. The second one is more of a smaller expansion. You're going to need, you can probably use either one of the sets, because I think you can use just the regular Captain's Chair, but you might be able to use the To Boldly Go since it is a standalone expansion. This one is Star Trek Captain's Chair Second Contact. This one has 3 new captains, 2 of which has been revealed. Carol Freeman from the Cerritos, and then Christopher Pike from the USS Enterprise. That one will be about $30. Let's head on over to crowdfunding. So first, I've got a coming soon, another one of these. Every now and then I've got some of these that are coming soon. This one should be out this week. This is Clank Catacombs Underworld. This is the second expansion for Clank Catacombs, which is an absolutely amazing game. This one will be out on Kickstarter. I think it'll be a quick turnaround because I think they've been sending out releases saying it's kind of a pre-order. So this should be out, should be getting released before the end of the year. This is a great deck building game. I mean, I love Clank as it is, but Clank Catacombs being kind of modular is so good. So this one, let's see, they've got, you're going even deeper than ever before with special new tiles offering entry into a mysterious new realm. Underworld expands on the push-your-luck experience in Clank Catacombs with even bigger treasures awaiting in the deepest areas if you escape. Obviously, you got to go down and then escape, kind of like regular Clank, but this one, again, a little bit more modular. It's such a great game. I absolutely love Clank Catacombs. So I'll have a link to, which should go directly, once it's live, I'll have a link to their kind of on their site, the press release, but I'll also have a link to the Kickstarter coming soon page. So it should work out pretty well that you'll get notified, or I mean, it should go to the regular Kickstarter page once it does go live. I also wanted to talk again about Game Toppers 5.0. If you haven't gotten any Game Toppers, it's almost criminal how good these prices are with the shipping and the other prices. I'll also have, we're going to talk to Berkey this week. So by the time this launches, it'll probably be up there. It's only got a few days to go, but if you want some really good prices on mats or on your own Game Topper, this is a great way to get started in there because there's a lot of extras that you can add on there and good pricing and get a little bit of bonus extras when you do get in on that as well. So I'll have a link to that one as well on the in the show notes for this one here. Also up now on Kickstarter, Even Deeper Regrets, an unfortunate fishing game expansion. So everybody likes absolutely love Deep Regrets. I've seen it. I just have not gotten a chance to play it, but it's absolutely a real popular one. This one has about a week to go where you can get the base game and the expansion as well. Well funded, about a week and a half ago. You can get all the regrets for about $89. And that should be the base game plus Deeper Regrets as well. And then you can get just the Deeper Regrets for about $35 to get in on that one. Again, so everything's still kind of in flux. I'm pretty sure the tariffs have settled down. I can't remember. I thought there was an agreement, but who knows? Everything's in flux. So they still have this kind of blanket. All these Kickstarters have and GameFounds have blanket things that says, hey, you might have to pay a little bit extra depending on tariffs and stuff like that. So again, everything, like I've been saying, is kind of back at your own risk, but I think everything is kind of settled down now. I haven't seen a whole lot of craziness as far as people talking about crazy fees and stuff like that. So although a lot of companies are still increasing prices on everything, which is a little curious because I don't think we're getting a lot of increases in as far as costs go. So that's an interesting thing to keep an eye on as well. So next up, Deep Rock Galactic, Rival Incursion and Horrors of Hoxes. All right, so let's just, I just haven't played this game, but it's got to be incredibly popular, Deep Rock Galactic, because these two expansions, it's over $1 million. I think it just launched last week. It's insane. So if you've played Deep Rock Galactic, let me know what you think of it. And it's crazy modular, really cool looking game, but I just have not played it, and I have not even seen it played anywhere, but it must have a gigantic following because, my God, $1 million that fast. It's another one of these big games, kind of modular kind of boards and a lot of minis and a lot of cool things you're doing. So this is an interesting one. You get you can go, each one of the expansions are both by about $89 US, or you can get the newcomer expansion, which I guess just has the second edition of the base game for about $150. And then you can get the standard bundle, which gives you, looks like both of the expansions. So if you just want the expansion bundle, that's going to be about $165, which will save you a little bit, unless you're just, instead of buying the two of them at the same time, two of them separate, you can get them at the same time a little cheaper. So I'd love to hear from everybody on a Discord channel what you thought of this game, and if it is worth it. Got a long time ago. I don't know if I'd get in on it, but I would look at, search it out maybe at Gen Con to try and get it played as well. Next up, a lot smaller. This one is a lot cheaper than that. So Mafia Blitz. This is an interesting one that I've seen kind of out on Instagram and on Twitter for a long time. A lot of, kind of the coming soon of it. This got about 3.5 weeks ago. It is funded, but it's hard to get when you just have, pledges of like $15 for one copy and then 3 copies. There's not a lot of things you can get. You get 3 or 5 copies, but it's only a $15 game. So don't let that price, don't let the funding fool you. This is a smaller game that it's only about $15 each. So this is a good job to get this one funded. But anyway, a lot of people between Mafia and Werewolf, it is hugely popular between One Night Ultimate Werewolf, regular Mafia, but Mafia Blitz kind of brings a little bit of a twist onto Mafia, the way you play that as well. I'm not a huge Mafia or werewolf game, but hey, if it's going on at a small con that I'm at, I'll play either one of them. But I'm just, don't seek those out. But this does look like an interesting little twist and may make it a little bit more inviting than just regular Mafia. A good little way to change it up, if you will. This is a 6 to 12 player game, obviously the way Mafia is, and it's a real fast one where basically you play it and shuffle up and play it again. And again, you get in this one for about $15. Another one that is very short, I'm sure it'll be late pledges, but one you'll have to check out right away, Diceocracy. It's an interesting strategy board game about winning the election in a dice-filled cyberpunk future. So basically, it's kind of winning an election, but it's really cool the way kind of the worker placement and going out and getting your votes from different places and using kind of your player powers to get more votes and influencing each one of the different locations. I thought this was pretty cool. So check this one out. It's about $50 to get in on this one. They've got a stretch goal. There's something copy, including any stretch goals. I guess any stretch. Yeah, I guess there's just a 95 version. I don't know if that's a expanded version with some expansions. It's probably what it is. You probably get a little bit. You get Dicetopia and the Right to Future. So you've got two other games, the expansion and the Roll and Write. I guess comes with it too. And that's about $100. And the base game, just about $50. So definitely, take a look at that. Tell me what you think about that one as well. I do love these kind of cool little worker placement, using and then having dice here. Well, head on over to GameFound. This was one that I think Ryan from Man vs. Meeple told me about this one when he was last on the show. Statecraft. This is an interesting one. Where it's kind of, it's all about kind of diplomacy. There's votes going on and different, depending on where you are in the world and which kind of faction you're using, you're trying to win or influence things in different ways. I thought this one was pretty cool. You get on this one for about 35 euros to get one of the games. And it does look like it's a pretty interesting game. Have a little bit of not social deductions, a little social gaming, if you will, in the game, and use more of a kind of a card game. I thought this one was interesting. Check it out. Statecraft by Do It Games. And finally, this is another one that, again, somehow I missed out on this craze. Black Rose Wars Revised Edition. Now, at first look, it kind of looks like one of these big old kind of campaigny type games, but it's not. It's more of a competitive game where you're playing it out on a board and you have different factions. It almost reminds me of a fantasy, kind of stripped down fantasy version of TI4. I know that sounds really weird, but just as I was watching the gameplay and reading about it, it kind of feels like that. It is huge amount of crap in this box and the way you play. And apparently there's tournaments all over the place. Probably be a bunch of Gen Con, probably the World Championships or something at Gen Con. They'll probably, again, you play this one competitively. And I guess with this revised edition, what they're doing is they're kind of making it a little bit easier for regular people to get into or newer people to get into, and kind of streamlining the rules a little bit. But there's a ton of miniatures and a tons of things. Like, it's very much a fantasy realm where, you're going around casting spells, kind of putting the spells you're going to cast. So you're kind of programming that in a way, and then you'll be able to summon some other demon, other beasts that will do your bidding, so to speak, and then fighting over different things on the board. I think this looks, I really would love to check this one out too, at a game day at some point, but it looks amazing. It is well funded. Only a couple of days left, but anything on GameFound, you always have those late pledges as well to get in on. But again, another one where if you've played Black Rose Wars or, any of these others, or Deep Rock Galactic, let me know on the Discord. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about the game. So thanks for joining me today. If you see any news you think I'd like to feature, shoot me a message at GeekJockDan on Twitter or on Instagram, or come to the Discord and just, shoot me a, private message, and I'll try to get it on the show as well. Also, please check out, like I keep mentioning, the Discord, the Major Spoilers Discord, and check out majorspoilers.com for great content by Steven and the rest of the Major Spoilers crew. Also, check out my show, the Geek All Stars podcast, and you can find me as the Geek All Stars on Instagram. What we've got coming up on the Geek All Stars this week, like I said, I'm going to talk to Berkey from Game Toppers this week, and then we're going to be doing a spoiler alert once Superman drops this week. I hope everyone's going out to check it out. That drops this week. We'll do a spoiler alert where we'll talk about it and spoil everything, so basically go see it before you listen to us talk about it for 2 hours. And then later in the month, I'll have my top 5 to try and top 5 to buy. I think BJ for Board Game Gumbo will join me again. He's been on there the last 2 or 3 years to help me out with the Gen Con preview. As always, I'm Dan and the Board Game. I'll see everyone in a couple weeks for another Munchkin Minute, where, like I said, I'm likely going to go through some of my try and buy from Gen Con this year, because, again, I'll be in attendance. I haven't been there in 6 years. I think it was 2019, right before COVID was the last time I went. I think that's how long it's been. So if you're going to Gen Con, let me know on the Discord or on Instagram. I'd love to meet anybody or play some games as well. But anyway, we'll see everyone next time for another Munchkin Minute.
This podcast is copyright 2025 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.